Hello everyone, I'm Apex Gamester, and welcome to episode 20, is it 26? 26 of SimCity, and I'm going to need to start off with an apology, I'm afraid. No, 25, this is episode 25. Okay, that's good. Yes, massive disaster happened, was recording this episode, however, got to the end of the episode, it was about 45 minutes long, realised that nothing had recorded. Fraps had just decided to stop recording, so the whole episode was lost, and again, it's cloud-based saves, so I can't revert to previous saves and do the same thing again. Everything that I recorded is lost. That's not all. Struggles didn't end there, okay? I then recorded this episode that you're currently watching, but didn't turn on the microphone. Didn't turn on the microphone recording. So this whole episode, which is an hour and 5 minutes long, has no commentary to it. So what you're seeing now is me playing, and I'm talking along, showing you new things that you missed in the episode that was lost. And as you can see, we started building this sort of solar farm in the middle of the region. Also, more factories and jobs over here, more residential areas, and you can see there the sewage treatment plant. And if we go a little bit lower, as I think I'm about to, you'll see the water pumping station as well. So we really, we started getting the utilities that we need to supply the tourism city with. And also there we got a garbage dump there as well, with an incinerator. And we built in this high wealth district sort of thing, which really helped out our hourly budget. This is really strange, actually. There's a shuttle bus there. No, this is really strange talking along to stuff I've already done, because I can't remember. Because I got so annoyed that I basically just, I sort of left SimCity alone for a few days, and just, because I was so annoyed, and I just spent like 2 out of 3 hours recording, just to have it all just go to crap. So I don't really know what's going on. I'm going to try my best to talk along as I go. Here we go, I'm checking, see what crimes are being committed. None are being committed. No buildings have been burnt down per day. And I'm going to guess we're going to look at the health centre as well and see that we have no deaths. No, am I going to? No, I'm zooming out a little bit. And people complaining where the shopping is. It did seem to be, even though it didn't say so in the demand bars, it seemed that some of the medium wealth and low wealth sims were complaining about the lack of shopping, which was interesting. As you can see, there's a library there in that little upper right hand section as well. I think I put in a new elementary school in there. Did I? I really don't remember. Clearly I've stopped here for a reason, I'm not quite sure why. But, of course, I really can't remember what I'm talking about, but I think, as I make myself dizzy, I'm about to start to fill in this area around the shuttle bus depot. As I'm going to do, speeding up the simulation. And I really like the way that this city is designed. I think I did. I sort of had this horseshoe image in my head before I started this one, and I think it's gone really well. As you can see, the budget is 5,330 simoleons an hour, and I'm going to spend some of this hard-earned money by putting on some extra solar power, what would you call them, units. You see, I'm hoping to fill out this whole space. With the option of maybe putting in some of extra power plant stations to fill out that area, because because you can only have 16 of these solar units per power station. And you can see I'm panning that out there, thinking that that fits in absolutely perfectly. That red square fits in between those roads perfectly for distance away from that road. So I should be able to plonk in some units to the left and right of that station if I was to have it coming off of that bottom road. 18,819 Sims living in this city. Hopefully they are as happy with it as I am. It is a bit blocky, but I'm sorry, it works. It does relieve traffic because it creates different routes for everyone. Pretty much everyone living in the city has a different route to get to a certain place. And you see, adding another one there, as I despise things that aren't symmetrical. If I can make something symmetrical, I rather would. So yes, gonna carry on and try and fix this road and fill out this area. But I think, did I notice that? I mean, if I noticed that road wasn't straight, I'm not sure. Yeah, and I'm just trying to fit it in there, and once again, it's a bit wonky and just doesn't seem to be working. And I don't know why I even did that. I knew that that was never going to be right. But, so then I have the idea to just join it right to the end, join that to that, and then delete the offcut at the end. And that would suffice. And then join this road down. Or did I want to do that? Maybe not. I think that semicircular road, I thought it was a waste of that curve. And I thought that maybe this would be a little bit better. And I wanted to get it close to the highway in the middle, the avenue, but not too close. I didn't want it to join up like that. I wanted it just to be slightly off. And it's good to see that that avenue is actually being quite well used at the moment. And now I'm just plotting the rest of this area. I'm thinking straight down there. Need to be a tiny bit straighter. There we go, that's the one. And then right to the end and join this road on the right hand side. And then these can be, made slightly blocky. That's absolutely fine. I think it looks good. That's probably a little bit too close, so I think maybe join it to there. And then was I thinking about curving? Quite possibly. I'm not quite sure what was going on here. I think I was just trying different things, seeing what looked good. So I'll stop it there and then trying again and thinking maybe sort of like an S shape, but that looks a little bit wonky and I'm not happy with it, so we're going to bulldoze that one. And then just join up those two with a curved road, and that looks much better. Much more inviting. And then I like how when I'm normally recording these series, I sort of talk about something and then I will circle the cursor around what I'm talking about. That's going to happen in this episode, but obviously I'm not going to be talking about that. Or I might be, but it's not going to be in context because I have no idea what I was talking about at the time. I could just be like, hey, this is round, it looks like a nipple. But I'm not going to say that this time because I'm not going to remember. So I'm thinking this is obviously going to be a medium wealth area, and some of these big community parks would be the best way to go about adding some value to the area. And maybe a third in there, or did I think that maybe two was enough? But adding those smaller, yeah, just like that, adding the smaller, narrower parks to there. 1, two alongside each other, not enough room for a third. And then if we have a look at that map, we can see that that's filled out that whole area with medium wealth. Now, what to go next? Don't know why I'm looking boats, but maybe thinking about an airship hangar like we saw in the last episode, and see how that works across two cities, as I've not seen that yet. And then streetcars, and I think at this time I did point out that I haven't used the streetcar tracks that you can take off of avenues, because that does free up a lot of chances, you know, for creativity. And then also, I also forgot that these park and ride things are quite useful. So I think I go and put some in, and then I think, well, that's not going to delete anything there. That's just one of those random plotted, like, dumps things. I don't even know what they are. I think they're just space fillers for when there's not enough room for a factory. And then just looking around for other places to put them. And I think probably one up here is a good idea. Right in there, yes. And one right there by the garbage. And that's fine. And I'm liking that area to the right-hand side of the avenue. I think it looks quite nice. And there I go there, look, just spinning, just going high wealth, high wealth, high wealth. And as we can see, we have some big complexes opening up. So that's going to be more tax dollars. Maybe I'll start thinking about upgrading the density of the roads around that high wealth area to try and accommodate more high wealth sims and get more of their tax value. And what am I thinking about here? Maybe one of these green parks. And that's perfect. It does shoot a few of these up as medium wealth, but that's not too bad. But it's going to need a little something alongside it just to fill out that extra hole, and that does the job perfectly. So now all of this area is medium wealth. And now I'm trying to carefully plot in my commercial, and thinking that that curved road could be some sort of shop district leading to the parks, keeping the residential out of it. Maybe thinking about commercial along there, but I didn't think that they would fit. Right there, and we have a glitch where that road isn't plotting right, so that houses are pretty much just growing alongside it, which is quite annoying. So get rid of that road, get rid of that, but then I think, hang on, I've got to de-zone that before another house tries to start planting its roots there. And now we go back to try and straighten on this road. And I've got the curve tool on, so give myself a slap in the face for that one. And I'm going on this line thinking that's 2 off. But that should be fine. And as you can see, yeah, I let it go there. That road going upwards is not straight. And it is annoying, but we're too far gone now. I think, actually, no, this is rubbish. I can follow along that line. No, but the guides won't let me. So I think, screw that, turn the guides off. And it still won't, so what I do is I come from the bottom, that's right. And there we go, that's a little bit better. It's still not perfectly straight with the other roads around it, around the bottom, but it is now zonable. Do I want some along there? Yes, I think I do. But not there. And I was thinking maybe some along there, if they would fit, but I didn't think they would. And I think instead, a nice row of trees would look a little bit more pleasant to the eye. And then I go and fill out some other blank areas that can do with a few trees. Treeing is always good, especially now my hardware can cope with it. As annoying as it was before, but we have unhappy Sims. They are miserable because they can't get to shopping. What do I think about doing that is I think about areas where I can add in some commercial. So I'm a bit puzzled, not quite sure what to do around there. Wow, looking down at the money, 7.6 thousand simoleons an hour. And spend some of that hard-earned money on another module for the sewage treatment plant, and again for the water pumping station. I like how I've kept the pollution far away from the water supply. That is the idea. And there I go, spinning around there, just going, look, it's nibble. And now I think that it's probably a good time to start filling in this little section. Probably doing sort of a similar shape around there, just following that curve around. And joining up those two roads, probably. Yes. And that avenue, which is somewhat disused most of the time. But I sort of needed it to have a central, like, spine to the city. And it creates a direct access straight to the city hall, which I think looks attractive for when you're entering the city. Not enough shops, and see we have some demand for low wealth commercial. We have another pocket of low wealth Sims over there. And just coming to grips with the whole demand system as well, I didn't realize that the faded color means that in the region is in need of that certain wealth of Sims, or that certain wealth of commercial. And I think that the best way to temporarily ease the situation up there is to add some more commercial. And I think, that's 3 shops, but there's probably not enough. Let's give you another 3 or 4. And I think that opens up another 3 shops, which is good just to, you know, ease things a little bit. And then I think it's time to add a couple more modules. We're just probably going to go out horizontally. Another 4. And then thinking probably this is a good time to start adding the other one. So there it goes. And then do I add the second one? I don't think I do yet. I think I'm going to make sure that these extra panels fit in that area, and as you can see, they don't, which is mind-numbingly annoying, because I thought I had the space absolutely perfect. I thought I had it right. So, best thing to do there is to get rid. I noticed it was 6 abandoned buildings, and of course it's no shopping, which is very annoying, seeing as that I have Sims complaining that there are no shops. And again, more that's saying no shoppers. So maybe a new sort of bug has been created here, where Sims can't get to the shops, so they start complaining about the shops, and then the shops start complaining about the Sims. And then we have a problem with the classrooms being full. 950 students filling up that school. So yes, I hadn't given them another elementary school yet, but I think now is a great time to. And thinking maybe down by the garbage dump, but that's a bit disgusting. The smell. And I think maybe this is a good idea, a good chance, or a good time to start to fill out this area. Bring those guides back. so that we have straight roads and not wonky ones. Again, the guide is wonky again. There we go. Not sure what to do with that area, but yep, I'm wiggling the cursor around again because I'm saying that I need to leave that space for more modules for the sewage treatment. And again, the guide goes wonky right to the end, and then we join those 3 roads right up. And now we've, made another section of the city now that can be zoned. I'm going to start to plot out where I'm going to put those. That's a good start there, and a good place to plonk in an elementary school. A grade school. A couple more classrooms straight out the back. And let's max out their bus capacity as well. And I think at this time I double check and make sure that I remember bus stops, which of course I haven't for these areas around the new medium wealth section in the bottom right of this city. And here as well, they're fine. Add one by the school as well. And then of course, I remember the normal bus stops. And then I start to put some around the high wealth as well, because it isn't just high wealth Sims living there. There are some medium and low wealth Sims plotted around that land. The city hall as well. But the coverage is overall quite well done. Quite sure what I'm doing now. I think I'm thinking about the placement of the other solar panels, because there's no space around here. Go in. Just thinking, is there a limit on the those other dish-like ones? Will I put in a couple more of these? Do I? Do I put in a couple more of these? I only have space for 3 more. It has to be somewhere symmetrical, so if we only have 3 more, I can't really put them on the outside because that's going to look a bit funny. So I think I'm going to put them on the bottom. And there it is, there's that power plant completely maxed out. And then I start to think about adding in a second, using up this space. I did want it to be just completely filled with solar panels, but looks like we're going to be limited somewhat. And then thinking about what to do with this area around the city hall, and I actually do go for it. Go for the oval. I think that looks pretty darn good actually. 22,321 residents. And then, of course, fill in that outer edge with trees. Train going through there for no reason. And that actually reminds me, it's probably a good idea to put in a train station. I'll get distracted by a helicopter. Where are you going? Looking at a fire, and then I think, where's the fire? It's just there, that small house there. It's burning to the ground, and everyone inside is dying. But I'm sure eventually they'll be fine. And I accidentally click on a person instead of the school, and then I click on the school again, and then I look at the student number and see that it's quite good. And that's not filling up. And that probably takes some relief off of the other one. As you can see, we have 313 unfilled jobs, which means we could do with some more Sims. And then just looking around at work I've done so far. Can't wait to get this new monitor, so then I can go back up to 1080p. Because that is why the graphics is sort of gone down a bit. Even though the smoothness and the graphic quality has gone up, the resolution, for some reason it won't let me go past 1360 by 768 pixels. And I think, wow, I want a hot air balloon park, because that's more important than pixels. Where's a good place to put it? One of these areas. I certainly think so. And I do. I just go for it. An impulse buy. It looks pretty, and I'm hoping to see the skies laden with hot air balloons bearing my logo, even though I'm pretty certain that that's not going to happen. I don't think they do bear logos of the user. Probably just Maxis logos. Wouldn't it be great if they let off 5 balloons in the shape of the letters and spelled out Maxis in the sky? Maxis, if you're watching, which I know that you're not, because there are other more popular channels to watch than this one, then do that, because that would be quite cool. Just have ones that are going around just with letters and that spell out random things. And it's working, but I see no balloons. I think it's a good idea to zone those medium wealth guys around the park. Fill out that shoe horn. Oh no, it's more like a horseshoe, sorry. A horseshoe-shaped sort of string of medium wealth sims going all the way around the city. Sort of creating a band. A band of medium wealth. And still, now it's closed for the day and we've seen no balloons, which was disappointing to say the least. I was hoping to see some of those big air-filled giants roaming the skies. No blimps have come over yet from the other city, which is again disappointing. But this area is not looking too bad so far. It's slowly building up, and we see we've got another 4 abandoned buildings. We can find shops or parks, which is annoying as I carry on over here to the right and see that we can find shops or parks, and then the shop has no shoppers. So completely contradictory, seeing as they were both right next to each other. Now what do I do? I can't remember. I'm just waiting for me to do it so that I can remember. I think, there we go. I'm going to add another module to the water pumping station. Do I go for 2? Whoa, that's ambitious. 80,000, I think that is, isn't it? I think like 40,000 a module. And then why not add a couple extra modules, or just 1 extra module to the sewage treatment plant? Of course, once again, I will say that this city is for providing utilities for the tourist city and the other 2 that will be surrounding it. No room for another one of these parks. There is room for one of those. And then I think I fill in the extra space with trees. That doesn't seem to have any effect really on the residents around it, and it wasn't really there to. It's just to be a little nice walkway where we can sit and watch the balloons. Filling more areas with trees, and certainly trees around that water plant so you can't see it, and again with the garbage disposal. One of those factories is upping its density. Am I going to leave that gap in the middle? I think I do. I think I'm going to fill that in now, or do I wait a little while? 650 odd unfilled jobs now. Well, we do have 300 people commuting out, so again, it's contradictory. You know, you kind of hope that they would find some sort of balance and that they wouldn't commute out until there were no jobs left in the city. But that's not what's happened. And yes, I believe it is a good time to fill in this area and I go for another curved sort of rectangular section. Yeah, I don't mind that too much. Go ahead and zone that bit there, commercial. And these two sections residential. Already that they are medium wealth pretty much. I think I'm plunking a couple of these ponds in the corners where houses can't be built anyway. And do I think that that's enough? I think, yeah, that's fine. We can just leave that as it is. As we come up to around about halfway in this video, I've done too bad so far. Pretty sure. More parks, more trees to add, but that doesn't seem to really have any effect. I don't really know why I was doing that. In fact, I don't think this part of treeing adds a single extra tree. I don't think so. I was going to tree around this solar farmy thing, but then I realised that I still haven't decided which direction I'm going to go with this. Do I put them in here? But this is the problem. I don't want to have these panels to be going in different directions, like one going vertically, one's going horizontally. So I think, okay, how about adding them here, right in the corner? But again, they don't fit. I have absolutely no idea why, but now they won't even go out in that gap between the road and the previous solar panels. So this is once again a failed attempt at trying to fill in that gap with solar panels. And it seems that I will have to come up with another solution. So I think there's no way around there that I can add panels, so there's no point in keeping it. And that's more wasted money, I know. And I noticed that then I've got 8 abandoned buildings, all with the same sorts of problems. Couldn't find shops or parks. And of course, these are low wealth Sims, so of course they can't find parks because I don't want them to find parks. If parks were too nearby, then their value would rise. But the majority of the other people seem happy. Still hovering around the 21,000 mark of Sims. What am I doing here? I'm allowing more commercial to grow. So I cut down the population by more than 1,500, I think, there. And then I'm going to put the... What was that I was doing there? I don't quite know what I was doing. Circling the cursor. I think I was looking at the train tracks and thinking I'm going to add a train station to that area. And more shops closing down because of no shoppers. I really like this city. I think it's turned out to be quite nice. And again, I go and zoom in on that hot air balloon park, but realise that it closes at 6 PM and it is just on 6 PM. So I've missed it again. But yes, very happy with this city so far. I think a lot of good work has been done. I think it looks refreshing. I think it's very pretty. And it's one that I want to spend a little bit more time with as well. And I think add some of that money to the police station. And let them operate a little bit more smoothly, even though we're still not seeing any crimes being committed whatsoever. And now I go back to this power thing, and it's really bugging me because this whole plan that I had to basically fill that area with solar panels has been completely chucked in the toilet. So I think maybe sideways, but I really don't want the panels to be, conflicting each other with going in different directions. So I think maybe adding a road going all the way across. But for now, we are interrupted by a meteor strike. I'm hoping it's going to fall somewhere that's not going to hurt. Let's see where it does land. There it does. Oh, good lord. 2 meteors. They do fairly minimum damage. It's really not too bad. I think, what did it say? Did it say 100 or so people died there? But, yeah, we've got parks destroyed, so we have to replace those. Abandoned building, but we couldn't delete that one because it was already on. It was still on fire. And more guys here. More parks being destroyed, which is really annoying because then you have to click a little button, but then you have to put the park back because otherwise the homes around it will go down in land value. So a small setback here, but we will rebuild, I can assure you of that. Hoping that our emergency services have enough staff, and we see that the clinic is completely filled up at the moment, so I give it another 2 full patient rooms and a couple more ambulances as well. 3 more ambulances, why not? 1 death per day, it's saying there, which isn't too great. I like that. That must be a 0. 2 there as well. That one's for sale, but it probably won't fetch a very good price, seeing as it's just been hit by a freaking meteor. So now it's time maybe to go back and look at this power plant again. You can see it's running on battery power, which of course it does at night because the sun isn't out. And of course with the latest update you can choose to sell to neighbouring cities or not, so you can keep your power all to yourself if you wanted to. And I just wanted to see that as daylight hit at 6 AM, I wanted to see that changed immediately to running on battery, from running on battery power to, you know, generating or charging cells or whatever it says. So trying to find some ideas to add more panels. I think I came up with an idea. Well, obviously, I know I came up with an idea because I know I did it. But you don't know that yet, so that's what's happening. And I'm thinking, is there somewhere I can put this extra panel? Probably not at the moment, because there is only 1. But if I had 2 adjacent power plants, then I could offset that single grid on one side, and I could just do the other side with the other spare one I'll have at the end, if that makes any sense. Sort of have it so that then they both will be symmetrical eventually. Who knows? But again, I try and think of ways to fit it in around, even though I know full well that it's not going to fit, so I don't know why I'm doing it. And I think maybe there's a good idea, because then at least I could just sort of L-shape them around and join up. I think maybe there, and they could sort of be quite close to each other, but then I don't really want that center circle around the city hall having a power plant coming straight off of it. So I think that would not be it wouldn't be a wise thing to do. You you want your power plant to be on some sort of like an industrial estate or something, not right with your, your businesses and your politicians. And so I think that I'm going to try and run a road across, but it doesn't seem to want to go all the way, which is really annoying. So what I do is I go as far as I can that way, then try there. No, not quite, but then I try... How about from the other side? Sort of try and match up the two roads. Maybe that would work. And success, they join up. And it's as straight as they're going to be. So I think, right, this is not too bad. This is, actually pretty good. If I add one right at the same spot where the other one is on that road, right there, and then sort of do a symmetrical thing with this power plant. I have the money to add in a few extra panels already, providing that they are symmetrical. And it looks pretty good. Well, it will look pretty good. And now we're pumping out even more power. Area with trees. You're not going to want houses too near these things. I'm not sure if they make any noise. They might do. They might make a small humming sound. I'm not quite sure. Fill in this whole area with trees. And that's lovely. Looking at that balloon thing again, but it's still too late. It's now 9 p.m. now, so we're not going to see any balloons today. Really disappointing, because since having it, I've not seen any balloons, and I want to see balloons. And some extra money that we can spend on some panels. And this is going to be quite a clean city, actually. I know we do still have some smokestacks either side, but it's not so bad. And now I turn my attention towards, well, I was going to turn my attention towards the railway, but I saw that we had 9 abandoned buildings. Couldn't find shops and parks in the shops. And this is where I think there's a bug, because there's 2 shops that I opened quite recently that are saying they cannot find shoppers, whereas there's 2 blocks of flats right next to them that say they can't find shops or parks, so something is clearly going on there. Looking at this land value around here, for some reason, I don't remember. These guys are medium wealth, but sort of in low wealth buildings. And so we turn our attention back towards the railway, and I didn't actually notice, if you look in the background on the far left, that when the power plants are running on battery power, they sort of glow red, because the power is being sucked out of the battery. Which is quite interesting, and foolishly I think that I'm going to be able to fit a railway station in that gap. Of course there's no chance. So I give up on that. And sort of plot in my railway station first. What was I trying to do here? I think I was trying to create like a right angle, but it was being quite resilient. Just want to create a small right angle curve downwards. I think maybe I'm going to do it slightly modular. There we go, that's better. I think if I'm going to join up those two, we can make it straight, just like that. A little bit shorter, right, the train station on there. And then I can just link up the road with the surrounding road. Curved would be better. Absolutely perfect. And I thought about sort of creating a loop, but because it's not going to be symmetrical, and actually it's going to look bloody awful, I decided to leave it, I believe. Okay, back to the power plant. Now, looking at the amount of utilities that I'm now bringing in, as you can see, plenty of power, loads of water, and sewage treatment quite a lot as well. And I think the idea is to not let this city grow too much in terms of high density, like low wealth sims, because we don't want this city draining all of the resources that we're trying to spread around the district. I think I've noticed that there's an abandoned building right in the high wealth there, which is quite annoying. Do I notice it now? I still haven't. Maybe I do then. No. I think this is a good time to increase the density in the high wealth, guys. Even though I'm pretty sure I do notice that that abandoned building is there now. I sure hope I do. Maybe not upgrading that one. In fact, it was just those 4 roads that needed it. And yes, I do notice. And there's another 6. So this is getting quite annoying. I sort of leave those because it says that they're for sale, so I sort of leave them to it and see if they do sell. I can't quite remember now whether they do or not. And I think, oh, we've got some high wealth, high density, but no, it's just that same one being rebuilt. I probably look at that power plant now. Yes, I do, to add 4 more modules. At least 1 more. No, 2 more. And it won't be long before that one's maxed out as well. And I don't quite know what I'm talking about there. Maybe thinking that I'm going to run water towers all the way along that road. I'm not sure. Yes. Closed needs workers. Now this was quite annoying as well because I couldn't quite understand why that was. Sewage backing up was annoying. Well, we do apologise. Technical malfunctions. We're doing our best to ensure that this does not happen again. But I like that area where we've got the trains running straight through. It does slow traffic a bit. But we do have our first high-rise, the luxury penthouse apartment being built there, as you can see coming across the top of the screen. Another 4 abandoned buildings. It was those same ones that are still saying they're for sale. I thought, no, enough is enough. Let's just get rid of them. It makes them come back a little bigger. And then it said construction now underway on tenement buildings to pack as many Sims into one block as possible, which is the low wealth high-rise buildings. But I couldn't find them. I really couldn't find it anywhere. And I think even now saying this, I couldn't find them. You know, even towards the end of the episode, I couldn't see them at all. So I don't even know if that's true. But there it is. For some reason, we're looking over at the Great Works. As you can see, we are going to build the Space Center in this one. But first, we do need to unlock it at the university. I don't know if I can unlock it at the old university that I had. I'm kind of hoping that you can. Otherwise, I'm going to have to build another university in a new city. But I don't know if I want to do any more universities in this cluster. I think one is enough, and to get the most out of that one would be the best thing possible. Community colleges for sure. That's a good idea. I'm not sure about universities, but yes. Another couple of these on. And it's not going to be symmetrical for a bit. 3 more spots available. Well, 3 more spots that I will use. People complaining of sewage. 207 students in that one and 325 in there. So actually the number of students has gone right down as we hit 29,000 sims. Now just sort of floating around, waiting for money to come in. Sewage in the end, they closed down. That's the second time that building has closed down. But there is no sewage problem, as I see. And it's quite confusing how there was ever a sewage problem. And we got enough for another one. And now there's just 2 more slots that I will fill. And there we are. There is a hot air balloon in the city. It's a proud day. It's an emotional day. There's another one. Oh my god, it's a penguin. They are everywhere. Just looking at the thing as one just plops up again. A multicolored one this time. I think that's the Max's colors, is it not? Am I mistaken? Oh, that's scary. It just comes through the screen like that. I love it. Balloons. And they create little shadows along the city as well, which is very nice indeed. And just looking at these guys and the density that they, the density levels that they're at. These factories that want to increase their density, but I'm sure if I just upgraded the roads, they would just say that they didn't have enough room, so it'd just be a waste of money, to be honest. And I think I'm going to hold off from upgrading any other roads at all in the city for a while, just to make sure that we have enough on those utilities. And so creating another little curved road here. Or maybe did I like... I did kind of like that actually. I think I decided to stay with it. It's something different. And then just a regular curved one there. Yeah, put that in. Just square this area off. Square this bit off there. If I do a bit of guesswork on this one. What do I? Do I do it? No. No, I do it right. Good. Again, it's just different. It's a bit curvy. And then straighten it off. Yeah. Maybe. Or do I curve that one up again? I think I may curve that up again. I'm not sure. No, I'll just leave it as it is and go ahead and put some parks down. Maybe. Do I put parks down? because there's a lot of red value, land value around here, so I try and sort of beat that away first. In fact, I knocked that down completely accidentally, so yeah, that's right, delete that. I think I look at that amphitheater thing, that's the one, but then I was sort of like juggling of which way it should face, because you don't want the crowd to be sat at the top and they can see the stage, but up above they can see a sewage treatment, they can see a water pumping station, and the same the other way around. You're just going to see sewage treatment, you know, whichever way you look. So it's sort of difficult to know where to put it. So I think after you know, juggling it around in different spots and looking for different ways to orient it, I give up. The best thing to do with one of these formal parks in, because that gives the whole area a boost, and then I can just add in normal parks alongside. And these little ponds, they're great in these corners where you won't get houses anyway. And there's a couple there, and another one right in the middle there, where it's not going to cause too much upset. And then one, what do I do in the corner there? Something slightly bigger. There we go. And then zone in some more commercial first. And then zone the rest residential. I think that's pretty much enough for that area. Now I've got enough money to add in those last two modules on the power plant. And we can see that we've got two fully maxed out symmetrical solar farm modules working in unison, filling the whole grid with power, ready to be distributed along the region, or along the cluster at least. For a tidy profit. Adding a couple of extra of these garbage trucks to the equation. And they look good. Just a quick note as well, there will not be any still shots at the end of this video, due to the fact that it didn't record the audio properly. I completely forgot to do. So there will be in the next episode. I think that's important to keep doing those when cities become more developed, and I think this one will be a great one to look at from ground level. And we can see the Sims logo as a balloon. So there are different shaped balloons as well, and we can see that one has some sort of cityscape on it. And it looks quite nice. I think this is the longest video I have ever done on YouTube. Certainly the longest SimCity one. Coming up to an hour now. About 5 minutes left. In fact, I may cut this one short. Or should I? I don't know. I don't actually know what happens at the end of this one. I don't think much else happens. Sorry, I'm really not good at this whole, because I already know what happens, so I do know what happens, but I have forgotten. I'm really bad at talking along to stuff I've already done, because I just can't remember. But I really don't know. I think I'm just managing stuff. But again, I will say I really do like this city. I think it looks great. maybe one of the best ones I've ever done. Quite possibly, who knows. This is the... Oh, my house is available, but nowhere to put it quite yet. And I think I am going to come close to cutting it short now. I do apologise again for the lost footage and the fact that this one has to have been voiced over because it's incredibly annoying as we add in some more jail cells, which is always a good idea. But, you know, normal service will be resumed after this episode. I will be extra vigilant to make sure that I record all audio and video because it has been so annoying to do all of that work just to find that it's completely screwed and you have to do it again. So, you know, this particular episode has been filmed, what, like 3 times now, and now the audio. So, do I have enough money to add in another more module? Yeah, go on, be cheeky. Add another one of those in. And I think that should be coming to a close as I circle around stuff randomly. Thinking about talking about things to do in the next episode, but for now I'm going to cut it short. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and teach me how to talk properly so I don't say things wrong. Please let me know what you think in the comments. You can air your disgust at the fact that I had to do this this way and that I've lost footage again. But it will not happen again in the future, guys. Okay, that's the last time I'm going to screw up. Okay, this is a new channel still, so I'm still learning stuff. So thank you once again, and I will see you next time.